Okay, this is the second fly in the beginner series of videos that I'm doing. So today I'm going to do a Crazy Charlie. This fly is a really good fly for bream and whiting, but you know, flathead will take it too if it goes past their nose. It's also a good fly for when you're fishing places like you know, Christmas Island, or for bonefish. Quite often this is the go-to fly for a lot of the people that fish for bonefish and you know, fish like that in the tropics. Alright, so first things, materials, mono thread, because I'm doing a sort of a semi-clear fly in this case. We want some eyes, so in this case that's just small bead chain eyes. The body material I'm using in this case is calf tail. The little bit of flash is crystal flash, and some vinyl rib. So that's just what that is, just vinyl rib that we're going to do the body with. So that in this case is a medium size vinyl rib. Okay, so first things first, we're just going to tie the eyes in. So just again on top of the hook, a few wraps that way, turn it, a few wraps the other way, get them on nice and tight. And with this mono you can really put some pressure on it, so you should be able to get them nice and tight and stuck to the hook. So again, we're going to check and make sure they're straight before we move on. Right, so that's that done. Now at this point you can head cement them, so if you want to really make this a super tough heavy duty fly, then I would suggest head cementing them or epoxying the eyes at this point. So if you're going to Christmas Island or somewhere like that and travelling, and you know, you've only got a limited number of flies, then I would most definitely head cement or epoxy the eyes into place, just so that they don't keep twisting on the hook. Alright, so the next thing I do is I'm actually going to wrap a little bit of flash up the shank of the hook, and then I'm going to go over that with the vinyl rib. And what that does is gives a sort of a halo effect, if you like. So you get sort of like a see-through shrimp sort of pattern through the body of the fly. So it is quite an effective look. So the colour of crystal flash I'm using is called herringback, but you know, pearl, UV pearl, any of those colours will work in this. Alright, so I'm doing that. So that's tied in, ready to wrap. I'm also now just going to tie in the rib. Alright, so we'll tie that up on the top too. And that way I don't have to bring my thread back over all of this material. I can leave my thread there at the front. So I'm just going to do that. So that's the rib and the crystal flash. Now the crystal flash, as I said, all I'm doing is going to wrap the shank of the hook with the crystal flash and get a reasonable cover. And that gives it a little bit of sparkle, but it really does create a nice halo effect on the fly. Alright, bring that through over the eyes, and then we tie that off. Cut off the excess. Okay, it's that bit, and then we're just going to get the rib. Now this stuff, you can stretch it a little bit, and I suggest stretch it at the beginning, alright, and then let it go as you get towards the top of the body. So it fattens up near the head here, so if you can see that starting to taper. And then all I do is pull it across the eye. Again, tie that off as close to the eye as you can get it. Alright, pull that off, cut the excess. Try not to cut your thread at that point or it's all just going to unravel. But you can see that's sort of giving me a tapered body there now. Alright. Switch him over. Take you some more flash. Now I don't put too much flash in Crazy Charlies, just a couple of strands either side, but again, easier to take flash out than it is to put in, so if you want to put a fair bit in, put a fair bit in, but it's personal taste and experience, I guess. And you want that to go, you know, just a little bit past the bend of the hook, because that's about as far as the materials are going to go. Tie that in, push it back the other side, and then what I'm doing is just trimming the excess so it's roughly the same. Okay, so we're just going to get some calf tail, and there's no need to overdress it, but you know, put as much in as you need. If you're fishing for bonefish, you know, most of the guides have really sparse crazy charlies, like really sparse, and I guess rely a lot more on the flash to get the fish's attention. Alright, so that's the calf tail. You want it to go just past the bend, the same as the flash. Alright, so we'll put that on, center it, pull it back and check it. Alright, and then again a couple of loose wraps to start. Hold it in place, check it. That's pretty good. And then we're going to just cut off the excess, try and cut it on an angle. It just helps you when you go to form the head. Alright, like so. Okay, and then finish that off, just create a head from the mono down to the eye of the hook. Now you can use flat wax 6.0, whatever you want for thread, but I've gone for the mono. It's a little bit more hard wearing, but it's see-through. It just again adds to the transparency of the fly, and I just find that that you know, gets more hits from bream and whiting especially. Just I don't know, just must look a bit more natural in the water than a bright white thread on something like this when you're, you know, imitating shrimp and stuff. So that's it. That's the Crazy Charlie. Fairly straightforward. Again, just going to finish off with a little bit of, in this case, clear goo, but head cement, any of those sorts of things. Put a little bit over the ribbing just to hold that all in place, and then hit it with the torch. And that's it. But if you look at it from underneath, you'll see that you can see that crystal flash through the ribbing. I really like that effect. Alright, that's it. Thanks again.